Afternoon, Gooners. So it's Man United in a couple of days. Some early thoughts really going into that game. I mean, if you'd asked me 2, 3, 4 weeks ago, earlier on in the season, how I felt about United coming to the Emirates, I would have probably said a comfortable 3 points. I think Arsenal would have ripped into Amorim's United side. And look, that could still potentially happen on Sunday, and I'm still pretty confident. When you factor in everything, our home record, we've got pretty much a fully fit squad now by the looks of it. United still have their struggles, and look, we are at the moment the best team in the league for a reason. But it does feel like there's been a shift, and it's frustrating that we're playing them when we are, because some of the changes that Michael Carrick's made are very, very obvious changes. And I think if you speak to any United fans, playing players in their positions that suit them best, bringing in sort of like your senior defenders like Lisandro Martinez and Maguire, switching from a back three, playing the likes of Kobbie Mainoo, who's obviously a very talented player, maybe pushing Bruno Fernandes a bit further forward. All of these changes that Carrick's made, and obviously look, they played really, really well against Man City. I'm not taking anything away from them, but the switch up comes at probably the worst time for Arsenal. I don't think it necessarily impacts how Arteta is going to set up for this game, but I do think there is a little bit more to be cautious about. I think United look very, very dangerous on the counter. Players like Mbeumo, Amad Diallo, like really, really dangerous players, Matheus Cunha. So they could cause us problems, and I've been saying this for weeks and weeks and weeks. I think it really comes down to how much kind of on the front foot Arsenal start the game. If we can really go at them from the very first minute, like we did against Inter, and be very much on the front foot, very much trying to get as early of a goal as we possibly can, I think that could make all the difference. Because you sort of saw with the Liverpool game at home, the Villa game, some of the best teams in the league are happy to come to the Emirates and sit on a 0-0 as long as they possibly can and sort of see what happens. And I think what we really don't want to happen is we're in a position where it's 0-0 and we're chasing the game in the 60th, 70th minute, trying to get a goal. We start having to almost force it a little bit, and that probably plays into United's hands. And like I say, they could damage us on the counter, and I think we just need to avoid that as much as we possibly can. Arsenal have got a job to do. We need to get 3 points because we've got 16 league games to go, and we need to just edge closer and closer to that title. Another home game. Our home record has been fantastic this season. We need to keep that up, and I'm sure as we approach the game, tomorrow and then Sunday morning, the nerves are going to start kicking in, because it does feel like we're now getting to crunch time. We're not quite there yet. It's only January, but it does feel like we're getting into that period of the season where, you're counting down the games now.